Right. Can I ask you where you guys from?
Sure. I am, although originally from Maine, I'm living in Tokyo for the last 9 years, and I teach at the American School in Japan.
Great. And can the other people hear me okay?
Yes.
Right, cool. Okay, great. Anybody else from Europe, or are you mainly from the States?
I'm in California right now, though I lived in Korea for a while.
Yeah, I'm from Amsterdam.
Okay, great. So a lot of people from the States. So yeah, my name is Simone, and I'm a member of a French organization. We do non-formal education, mainly maker education, so around digital technologies, and we work in the youth work sector, so mainly with young people, but also with some adults. Yeah, I'm here to present a reward system designed specifically for maker education that we produced in the framework of a European partnership together with other organizations from Europe and it's other organizations that are active in the youth work sector, and this partnership is called Makerspace for Inclusion. And by the way, if you're interested to find out more about this initiative, you can find the link to the website at the bottom of the Virtually Maker Faire entry, I believe. There's a button that shall lead you to that website. But in a nutshell, this Makerspace for Inclusion project is about creating the conditions to enable any young person, including young people with fewer opportunities, to join makerspace-like environments and make the most out of this experience from an educational, personal, intellectual point of view. So yeah, before I start, I wanted to make sure that we have I don't know if you guys are familiar with maker education, but I wanted to see if we have the same understanding of this concept. So yeah, so what we understand by maker education is so it's an approach to education that focuses on solving real world problems by implementing practical activities. In other words, it's to us, maker education is a problem-based and project-based approach to education. And I wanted to see if do you guys agree with this definition, or do you have some other views about maker education? If anybody wants to, say something.
Sure. I think there's a broad spectrum of ways you can sort of think about that maker ed through design and fab, where the electronics, robotics starts to come into it. But that the idea is that it's around a problem-based, project-based, independent as much as possible. Oftentimes with the design thinking model rolled in terms of an approach, prototyping, iteration, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's yeah. So we're on the same wavelength when it comes to that definition. And also, we understand maker education as typically involving technology, whether it's high tech or low tech. So to give you just two examples, one classic low tech maker activity that we can implement with our organization is about setting up an electric circuit with RGB LED strip, and that involves soldering different parts and assembling a support using, let's say, a hot glue gun. Or a more high-tech activity would be classic high-tech maker activity, designing an object via computer-aided design software and then 3D printing that item. So the question that we asked ourselves with this group of youth workers and educators is, how do we acknowledge the efforts, the skills, and the knowledge that the young people acquire in a makerspace like environment, and or by participating in maker activities. And So we brainstormed this topic a little bit, and we figured that traditionally, at least in formal education, we've been using diplomas or any other document that stated the individual has completed a certain educational endeavor, and that he or she has therefore acquired a set of competencies and knowledge. So we had at least a couple of issues with this diploma style reward. The first is that the content of the diploma might not be understood by everyone due to, for example, language barriers. So if I show, the average French person might not understand the content of the diploma that is written in Dutch, and vice versa. So we were looking for something more visual, more straightforward, that would transcend this the limits of language, so to speak. And the second issue that we have with this diploma style reward is that to us, so in our view, the maker approach to education should permeate the learning process from start to end. Now with this with the diploma, the beneficiary is disconnected from the reward, insofar as the diploma is released by an institution, an organization, and the learner has little say in this process of acknowledging his or her skills via the diploma. So these are two of the factors that we took into consideration when we designed our maker education reward system. So like I said, unlike the diploma style reward, our system tries to be strongly visual because it relies on mainly on physical objects. Although of course there is a meaning behind these physical items, and that meaning can be grasped by reading about the reward system and understanding about the philosophy behind it. And a third factor that we took into consideration when we designed our reward system is that this method should motivate young people to throughout the entire learning process, even if they participate in several workshops across a long period of time, across, let's say, many months. For example, suppose you had the idea to build a CNC machine with a group of young people, and you chose to do this on a weekly basis during 2 hours long sessions. And suppose also that by the third week, nothing is really working, you're missing some bits and pieces that prevent you from making progress in this project. At this stage, surely the young people will feel frustrated, demotivated. So our reward system is supposed to step in at this stage and help motivate young people, even if things are going sideways and not looking great in terms of the project, the work that they're doing. Okay, so what does the reward system consist of? There are three main components to it. The first is the skill badges. The second component is the competencies badges, and the third component is the Mighty Maker level belt. So what are the skill badges? The skill badges are rewards that show that a certain skill has been developed through completion of a task or an activity. And so, for example, one can earn the 3D printing badge after participating in an activity about 3D printing and proving that he or she is able to print their own design independently. And it's possible to have several skill badges awarded simultaneously after a long project where, let's say, several skills have been developed at the same time. So suppose there an individual takes part in a maker activity about producing their own automated gardening kit. By completing this activity, they will probably earn a badge on a skill badge on 3D printing, another skill badge on electronic prototyping, and also another one on soldering, because all these three processes, all these three processes were part of that activity. So what do they look like, these skill badges? This is it. So for example, I'm wearing two soldering skill badges. It's the purple one, and one I think it's the independent work badge, the orange one. So yeah, obviously the soldering iron badges, they prove that the young person is able to use a soldering iron. The independent work badge proves that the young person is able to work it autonomously on a project, on a maker activity. Now we've come up with a list of skill badges that is by no means exhaustive. So this means that you can potentially design your own skill badges that reflect know-hows that young people acquire in your own maker activities. And the skill badges that we designed so far are available on Tinkercad, and they can be reached via the award system guide. So the award system guide, I'm going to copy paste the link to the complete guide. It's available on Google Drive, and it should also be available on other platforms soon. So the project website, our organization website, that I'm gonna copy paste it in the chat. So yeah, so that link should provide you access to the complete guide on this reward system, and there you can find links to download the skill badges, the competency badges, and also a link to the tutorial that explains you how to produce the Mighty Maker level belt, which we'll talk about in a second. So yeah, the badges that we've designed so far are about a few topics, namely textiles, laser cutting, 3D printing, painting, recycling, woodwork, independent work, two-dimensional design, electronic prototyping, and workshop safety. So these are the skills basically that young people can acquire during our maker activities, and as a result of that, we award them the skill badges. To complement the skill badges, we've thought about some competency badges. And now, what are competency badges? These are items that recognize and reward young participants for their growth in certain areas which are believed to be important by makers, generally speaking. So the competency badges are also larger than the skill badges. The ones that, so this is a competency badge. For example, this one is about coding. As you can see, it's larger than the skill badges. Then, of course, these designs are you can 3D print them, so you can also choose your own size. You can make skill badges larger. You can make competency badges smaller, or vice versa. You can tweak the design as you want. So these competency badges have space for level indicators, and these level indicators we represent them with little stars, and each competency badge has space for 5 level indicators. So the idea is that as the young user improves their competence in a certain area, he or she earns new level indicators. For example, we have this. Let's take this competency badge on coding. One user can have level 1, so the little star, and that proves that she has basic competency in this area. And by the time she earns level 5, so the big star, she proves that she has a very good understanding of that area. Now, you can also think of competency badges as related to soft skills as opposed to technical skills. Indeed, our competency badges, except for the coding one, the other ones are about soft skills areas, because the other competency badges that we thought of relate to problem solving, creativity, and community. But of course, you can tweak this system based on your preferences, your needs, and you can say, for example, I just want competency badges to focus exclusively on soft skills, or you can have competency badges that focus on technical skills. For example, you can have one competency badge that refers to a large area of technical skills, let's say electronics, and then have skill badges to reward, so the smaller badges. You can have skill badges to reward smaller achievements in that field. For example, if you take electronics, skill badges can reward abilities such as soldering, designing your own PCB, etc. So again, that's to say that our reward system is very much open and you can adapt it to your needs, your preferences. But the basic idea is that it consists of 3 components that come together to reward the efforts, the skills, the knowledge of a young person. So again, yeah, the competency badges are available on Tinkercad, and you can find the links on the guide to the reward system that I shared in the chat. You can also find them if you navigate through Tinkercad and then search in the search bar, you search for persons and you type Digijeunes, which is the name of our organization. Maybe I'll just share the screen for a second to show you what that looks like. So this, yeah, this would be the Tinkercad page that you land on when you search for Digijeunes. And as you can see, you can download the competency badges, for example, the coding competency badge, the problem solving, community, creativity competency badge, and then you also have the skill badges to download. And also, of course, you can open the file and modify that as you please. And like I said before, you can imagine to add extra skill badges, add extra competency badges to reflect know-hows that we didn't integrate yet. Okay, so yeah, then I also need to tell you, I still need to tell you about the Mighty Maker level belt, which is the 3rd component of our reward system. So what is this Mighty Maker level belt? It's an item that hopes to bring the skill badges and the competency badges together and be a way for the young person to register their overall progression as a maker over time. And the levels of Mighty Maker belt are used in a comparable way to martial art belts. So a new color is awarded once certain predefined criteria is met. Now, specifically for the Mighty Maker level belt, we have 5 levels, so 5 different colors. And what does the Maker belt look like? This is it. I'll just show it to you on the screen. So this is the Mighty Maker level belt, and right now it's glowing green. So if the young person were to wear this belt, it would indicate that she has reached level 3, because green is level 3 in our system. And then you can program the level belt using, there's an Arduino board inside. You can program it with Arduino IDE or some other visual coding software to change color, to glow red, blue, yellow, or violet. And we chose these colors because it's the colors that you can produce with the typical colors that you can produce with a programmable RGB LED strip. So now the idea behind the Maker belt, as I said, is that a new color is awarded once the young maker reaches a certain level. So the first level in our system is red, and that shows that the young maker has reached at least level 1 in all 4 competencies. And what are those competencies? Like I said before, it's the coding, the problem solving, the creativity, and the community. And also the young maker must have earned at least 2 skill badges. So for example, she can earn the soldering badge, the independent work badge, and then level 1 competence, level 1 reached for competencies, and then she automatically earns the red color of the Mighty Maker level belt. And then she moves to blue level once she has reached to level 2 in all 4 competency badges, and once she has obtained a further 2 skill badges. For example, the 2-dimensional design skill badge and the electronic prototyping skill badge. So then she moves to blue level, etc. So actually, this Mighty Maker level belt is an activity in itself, and it should be a project that the young participants can work on and complete over time, whilst learning and developing maker skills that can help them obtain the skills and the competency badges. See, so like I said before, we also published an instructable on making your own Mighty Maker level belt, which is available on instructables.com. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to share my screen. So yeah, this is the Mighty Maker level belt. You can just type Mighty Maker level belt on Instructables, and you have the complete tutorial. But it is basically, there are some. It's a simple circuit with an RGB LED strip that you can program with Arduino. That's the main idea. So what is it? 10:54. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Let's see if I have extra stuff about the reward system. Yeah, again, I want to say that you can tweak the Mighty Maker level belt to suit your needs and preference. For example, let's say that you come up with a reward system that is based on the skill badges, competency badges, and maker belt. But your reward system consists of 80 skill badges. You see, so you might want to award a new level for the belt, hence a new color, after attaining more than just 2 skill badges, like in our reward system. For example, you can say once you earn 8 skill badges, you move to a new level of the maker belt. And similarly, if you have extra competency badges, so you have 15 competency badges overall, you might want to deliver a new color to the young maker once she has reached a new level in all 15 competency badges. So yeah, this is it for the maker system. So to sum up, we've seen it consists of skill badges, competency badges, and Mighty Maker level belt. The main issues that we wanted to tackle with this system is so number one, we wanted to have the young makers to stay motivated throughout the whole learning process. Now we can do that because at the end of each session, even if we didn't really make any progress with the work, perhaps they have earned some new skills because they use the soldering iron for the first time, hot glue gun for the first time, so they can earn a skill badge for that. And they can also earn new levels relating to the competency badges. For example, they can earn level 2 for the coding competency badge. And also in our view, it suits maker education because it's different from the diploma style reward system in that the user is actually participates to the user is part of the reward, because for one thing she can she can, for example, produce the Mighty Maker level belt, or she can also design her own skill badges. Let's say a young person believes that during a maker workshop she has earned a skill that we didn't think of, where she can just design a skill badge that reflects that skill, and deliver that badge to herself. Do you have questions? We have a couple of minutes for that.
Typically, what are the age levels of the kids that you find this works with?
We've tested this with kids aged 9 to 14 years old so far.
Okay.
Any other questions from you guys?
What is, I think you mentioned earlier, but I'm kind of curious what your teaching environment is. Is it like a classroom or a makerspace? And what do the students actually do with these? So I can see the badges, you could definitely wear those, but then the, the skill level, I'm sorry, the competency one, do they just, you hand it to them, they keep it and they take it home and lose it, or do you hang them up in the room somewhere? How do you use those?
Good question. Now you can actually also wear the competency badges. Now I didn't attach the pin, but you can engineer something. Yeah, there is actually a space to attach a pin to the competency badge, and then you can wear the competency badge just like you wear the skill badges. And also you can use some glue to fix the little stars, so the level indicators, to the competency badge. So you can wear the skill badges, the competency badges with the level indicators attached to the competency badge. And so to answer your other question, our environment is, yeah, we deliver workshops in maker spaces at Fab Labs, but also community centers and other educational environments, also libraries, instructional environments. So, for example, libraries. So that's where we tested this reward system, and the idea is that yeah, the kids can wear them, so each time they can come back with their skill badges, with their competencies badges, and that's the way of for the educators. You know, it kind of reminds her what each young person has done already, has learned already, and it might also be useful for the kids themselves, because they can look at someone's skills badges and realize that, oh, that person has earned the electronic prototyping skill badge. I have an issue with electronic prototyping, so I might go up to her and ask her a question. So it's yeah, it can boost teamwork and collaboration among the kids themselves. And maybe a question for you guys. 1 minute left. Do you have your own reward system in place for those of you who deliver maker education activities?
Yeah, this is Pablo from Spain. I do have a reward system very, very similar to yours. But instead of having badges that you put here, every of my students, they have a board, a piece of wood, where they work all the time. And what I do is that I print, like with a regular color printer, stickers. And those stickers, they're stuck to the board. And those stickers are gold, because if you own a sticker, you are like king of Mambo. And they have different skills, different things. And during the year, they have more stickers or less stickers. So at the end of the year, when they show their projects, they also show their board. And their board is like the biggest prize, how many stickers they have. But it's basically the same thing that you do, but just cheaper with laser printer stickers.
So, may I ask how many skills overall can you display with your stickers?
Well, it's a bit like yours. I mean, we have like 6 or 7 skills that they're the basic skills, like electronics, 3D modeling, 3D printing, wire bending, because that's a skill by itself. And then you have like the Star Wars award. Why is the Star Wars? Because we have done something related to Star Wars. I mean, we also modify the stickers as we need them.
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's great. And do you have that somewhere? Did you, write the document on that or something, a tutorial?
It's in my computer. It's just a sticker sheet in my computer.
If you have share with us, you can drop us an email. You'll find the contact.
I'll give it a try. I'll try. Yeah, yeah. I will contact you via via Instructables, and I'll share it with you.
That, yeah. Great. I think we've run out of time because it was half an hour, scheduled for half an hour. So if you have other questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, we can go and do some other workshops and presentations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Where are you based?
Thank you.
no problem. We're a French organization, so Toulouse.
Toulouse. Ok. Madrid. Je parle français comme toi.
Ah, d'accord.
À la prochaine.
Ouais,
Merci.
okay, see you guys then. Take it easy. Good day.